Howdy YouTube, this is Jared with Omnivore Blade-works, and this is the latest cut nest that I just picked up this morning. It's May 14th. It's got some symmetry, so I'm gonna make some kind of a artwork out of it someday. Going into the shop now. I'll show you what came out of that nest. I'm working on straightening everything right now. And so first thing I'll show you is what I've already got straight. I've got a new variation on the Kodiak sword, which is just changes I've made is to the skeletonizing in the hilt, changing the pin positions of the grips so that I have maybe a little bit more strength up in here near the hilt. And then I'm adding a gripper for the thumb area so that when you do choke up on it, you've got a nice purchase for your thumb, kind of like some of my old designs. And then the teeth on the back are intended to be gripper teeth, which will be used for grabbing tree branches and stuff, manipulating things that you're trying to cut, so that you basically use your sword hand as sort of a hand. Well, your sword hand maintains the ability to grip and grab things instead of just holding a sword. Got two megalodons. I gotta give one of these to a friend of mine who gave me a megalodon tooth for inspiration. So one of those will be available, and of course I can always make more. And then also something new in the same series as the megalodon, our predator series, is what's going to be called probably the first version of the taipan tomahawk. Taipan is a snake, so this is kind of like my mamba tomahawk, except it's a one-hander and it's got a D-guard for to protect your knuckles. And it is going to be more of a, I'm going to do a lot of rounding on this little strut in between my fingers. The reason I have that there is so you have a little more control if you were to punch something. And then it can be removed, and then the thumb shelf, it's also good for a thrusting motion. So this is just a prototype, but I'm going to have one of these sent out for custom order, and then I'll play with the other one and see if I like it, and it'll probably be for sale too. Then I've got a new American Bowie knife. This is either going to be called Jim, or it's going to be called the new Horribilis or Arctos. It's kind of a smaller, well, it's a play kind of on the Kodiak. You can kind of see that here with the false edge being kind of a clip point, but got the guards on it, so it's more of a fighter. Got a blade catcher and these little teeth on the back, which can really grab a blade, so you can jerk it at somebody else's hand. Then I've got a new Raven with a totally round butt, which will be a heavy-duty knife, just straight, simple dagger. And then I'm going to do a lighter version with probably a trench knife handle that I'm going to make out of some kind of plastic. It'll be very similar in shape to the taipan here. Then moving on, I've got some more tomahawks that got cut out of this batch, but unfortunately we had some slag problems since the laser kind of had some, I guess, difficulties in some areas. So some of these are going to be factory seconds. Not factory, but just seconds, because this is not really a factory, it's just a shop. So there's going to be some things available at discount prices probably. Then moving on here, I've got my grip handle router jigs all made, so I can start getting going faster on grips. I already did some of the Jackal and Kodiak handles, and I also have the jigs ready for the ETA tomahawk and the 3B tomahawk, Americanus and Harvest. They're all ready to start making grips. And then moving on to here, we got more stuff from the new batch. We got the new Tanuki Tanto and the Tanuki Katana, which is sort of my take on a more authentic shaped katana. And it's got a hidden tang, so it'll have hopefully a smooth or slightly textured micarta grip, which will be wrapped with something, probably gutted paracord. And then I've got the Arctodus, first prototype. I think this is probably going to be perfect for what it is. You've got a katana cutting geometry. If you hold it one way, this way, you see there's similar curvature. And then the other way, you've got sort of a Greek kopis sword. And then you also have a symmetrical spear point, which gives you similar dynamics as a Zulu short spear. So it's really a hybrid sword that's taken from 3 cultures, which is kind of cool. Also, you have the guard and the blade catcher from like the American Bowie knife. So there's Japanese, African, Greek, and American inspiration there. Then I got the dire wolf with both a D-guard and without. One of these is, well, they're prototypes, but I'm going to make these and see how they do. And then I've got another couple of Parvis knives, which haven't really been released yet, and then a new version of the javelina, or take on, inspired by the javelina. This is a knife, actually be a tanto point knife. Hold it in your hand and it kind of gets hidden by your finger, so you can poke things like that. And then there's a more utility version, which will have a drop point Warncliffe style blade. You can still poke things with it, but it'll be better for opening boxes and everyday chores, whereas I think the Tanto is more of a combat utility tool. Then I also have a few more, I think there's 8 more of these 3B tomahawks, Anubis tomahawks, and a couple more camp hatchets, and the new Murder 2 sword, which is a double coffin handle blade, and it's bigger than the other old Murder, Gladius, and we got more of a broadsword type of size. The one-hander just wasn't cutting it for me, so I thought I needed to try something else. And then the camp axe. So that's the report for today. I'm trying to get all these new things straightened so that I can have them annealed tomorrow, and then get them back on Tuesday or so, and then start grinding one of each so that I can take some things to the blade show and show them off. Of course, I'm also working on production and trying to get things done in a timely fashion, although I'm failing miserably. So hope you keep bearing with me. This is a lot of progress, or it's a long process to get all this stuff done. Here's the handle for the Arctodus. So you can see that's pretty much Japanese in shape. It's almost the same. It's a little different. It's backwards hilt on the Tanuki. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching.